I need my blanket. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am back and better than ever. So, school got canceled because it's ice and snow and rain. And you don't understand how happy I was when I found out the school got canceled because I just came out of work. I was so tired. I was not feeling school the next day. And to my surprise, school was actually canceled. So that came in clutch. I'm just in bed, not even doing anything. And I thought, you know what? Why not film a video? I'm in the mood to talk. So I decided to do a story time. And I will be telling you about my first fight ever. Yup, my first fight ever. Yup, I got in a fight. Yup, I know, crazy, right? So grab your drink because this is about to be a lot of tea, a lot of... and yeah, let's get started. So starting off, right now I'm a junior in high school and my first fight was in freshman year. So that's like 3 years ago. Time flies. That's crazy because I literally remember it like it happened yesterday. So I'm not saying any names either. And me and this girl, we are neutral now. There's no issues. We got through this. This is just a funny story, a funny memory to tell because, I mean, my fight in freshman year. So yeah, I currently have no beef, no drama, nothing with anyone. And I'm happy about that because I absolutely hate drama and beef because it's so stupid. So funny story, this girl was my first best friend ever. We met in 5th grade and after that we would always hang out and blah blah blah. We called each other sisters because like we thought we would be friends forever. She was my first close friend. We would always hang out. Even when we met new people, we would always stick together. So how ironic is it that your first friend is the girl you got into your first fight with, right? Pretty ironic. So we were friends through 5th grade, through middle school. And we had some problems here and there, but I mean, we made up like because we were like glue. We were best friends, we were sisters. Until freshman year. Me and her had like, I don't know, we kind of became on and off because I didn't like her attitude kind of like, so by that time we weren't really that close anymore. We kind of drifted off because like, I don't know, we got older. I didn't really like the way she was acting. I don't know about her, I don't know what was in her head, but for me, I didn't really like how she acted. So yes, we weren't really close like that anymore. But we sat in the same lunch table. So yeah, so at that time we were just friends, like normal friends. We weren't best friends at this time, we were just plain friends. So it was all normal and stuff, and then out of nowhere, she just started to stop talking to me. Like, not like, oh, like, we didn't even have problems. I wasn't mad at her, she wasn't mad at me, nothing. But all of a sudden, I was talking to her and then she just wouldn't respond back, like, at all. Like, nothing. Like, she just wouldn't answer, nothing. And I kept saying hello. So stupid, but I was just like, hello, hello, hello. And, like, she just wouldn't answer at all. I don't know, like, if she thought it was a joke or whatever. And I was just like, what the hell, okay then? I'm not gonna keep going. Like, if you don't want to talk to me, whatever. I'm not gonna beg for anyone, right? So at first I thought it was a joke, but then she kept going with it. It was really weird. And then the next day came, and then she wasn't saying anything either. So I was like, okay, you're weird. And that's it. After that, we just stopped being friends. I didn't know there was any beef. I didn't know there was any hatred. I didn't know there were any problems. I just thought like, okay, she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Okay, I'm not gonna beg for her either. That's it. We just stopped being friends right there. But then it's not done yet. So yeah, so me being me, like, I didn't talk about her at all because didn't know there were any problems until one of my guy friends came up to me and told me, hey, this girl, let's just pretend her name is Caitlin, okay? Let's just call her Caitlin. Her name is not Caitlin, but for the sake of the story, let's just say Caitlin. So one of my guy friends comes up to me and tells me, Caitlin was talking about you with this other girl. And I was like, wait, what? What was she saying? And he was like, oh, she was talking about your body and how like, you're annoying and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, what? Pause, hold up. I was so confused. I didn't understand why she was talking about me to someone else when her name literally never comes out of my mouth, because, you know, I could care less. But yeah, but I'm a mature person. So I'm not gonna cause issues for anything. So it's like, okay, let her keep talking about me. I could care less because I know where I stand. Let her, like, honestly, I didn't really care. I was just confused. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So that's when there started to be a little bit of tension between us, because she still sat in my lunch table. So one day I walked to the cafeteria and I see her sitting in my spot. So I go up to her and tell her to move, because that is my seat and not hers. And she's like, wait, I'm talking. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna wait. Get out of my seat. Oh yeah, this is so funny. She did not move when I told her to move. So I went in and pushed her to the side and sat in my spot. There's a video of that. Like, my lunch table was laughing because it was so funny. But after I did that, she literally yelled and she was like, did you just push me? Did you really just push me? And I was like, yeah, you're on my seat, move. And then the teacher came in and then she started yelling at me, and then I started yelling right back at her. Like, maybe you shouldn't have been in my seat then. And she was like, you can't just touch me like that, blah, blah, blah. And I was just laughing. I was like, I don't care. You were in my seat, so move. And I just sat in the spot laughing while she was all pissed off. And then the teacher had to come in and break us apart. So that was our first debate. Like, nothing happened. Like, that was just that. And so now after that, it was sure, like, we were not on good terms. Like, we weren't neutral. Like, we just didn't like each other. That's that. We had a few more arguments too in the lunch table, but I don't really remember, but it would just happen. But then one day, my best friend comes up to me at school and says, Caitlin's talking about your mom. It's written in her pencil case, and I saw it, and right there I was shook. I was raged. I was pissed off. My face turned red, and I was like, oh hell nah, she crossed the line. Because we can have issues. I don't care if you're talking about me. I don't care. But when you bring up like a family member or my mom, that's when you cross the line. That's when I'm gonna say something. So right there, I was like, hold up. Tell me everything. Like, I was making sure like this was facts, because like I was ready. So it was lunchtime that comes around, and I go up to the girl that sits next to me, and I'm like, yo, I was just like, yo, I'm about to hit someone. I'm so mad. And I told her what I found out, and I was like, oh my god, if I see her, something's gonna go down. Like, I'm just letting you know right now. I'm just warning you, blah, 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 blah. So I go in the hallway. Like, I was waiting for her. I was waiting for Caitlin to go to the cafeteria so that I can confront her. But I needed a drink of water, so I left the cafeteria, and to my surprise, there she was, walking to head into the lunchroom. And that right there, that's when it all started. I see her, and I call her. I'm like, Caitlin. Remember, that's not her real name. I was like, Caitlin, I heard you talking about my mom. And then, of course, she started denying it. She was like, what? No, I wasn't, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't me, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I don't care. It was written on your pencil case. And I was just like, you have no right to say that about my mom when blah, blah, blah. I was dissing her, okay? But it was just back and forth. And then, of course, when students start hearing people yelling at each other, everyone runs into the hallways. It sounded like a whole army. The whole cafeteria runs in the hallway watching us argue back and forth because we were screaming, okay? So, mind you, it starts getting really crowded in the hallway. It ends up with her yelling, hit me then, hit me then. And I was just like, okay. Yo, and it was still like, then we fought. She pulled my hair, I pulled her hair, I punched her, and I punched. It was like 5. It was literally like, it was stupid. It was like 5 seconds, and then everyone's like, oh my god, go, 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 blah, 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 blah. It was so stupid. So I hit her first, but she yelled, hit me, so I hit her. So I guess it was like, it was both of us. We both got suspended for 3 days. And yeah, the teacher had to go in and split us up and pull us out of the way. That was my first fight. Like, I didn't have any marks on myself. Like, I was completely fine. It was like 5 seconds. I don't know, at the moment, like, you don't feel anything, you don't know anything, you know? Once again, we're good now. Me and her, like, we're neutral now. It was 3 years ago. We laugh about it. It's fine. We made fun about it. And funny thing is that I actually have the whole video on my computer, but I'm not gonna be showing that. Sorry, but it's private. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more.